What's good, YouTube? And welcome to a spicy market watch with a bit of drama. But first, this happened oh so quickly and satisfyingly. We covered the Dark Magician Adidas promo and how the lowest listings were 2,000 super greedy sellers as it was slowly out there. Well, it's still only dropped in the UK, yet we're seeing the promo now listed around $400 and selling there somewhat consistently. And also the shoes with the promo going for around $500 to $600 depending on the size. And I do think there's still a lot of FOMO here, but to see it drop that quickly into the realistic range that I thought it would initially start selling at, that is pretty satisfying to see. I do think it will continue to drop though, because the edition size should be pretty huge. There's been no marketing towards this, and it hasn't had a Canadian drop, a US drop, other regions. This was mostly UK through one retailer, but shipped directly by Adidas. So I do look forward to seeing more of these eventually come out. I would hope, because it is the final piece of a collaboration where you did see the other Exodia pieces, for example, with the other shoes, and I would expect that this would end up coming out in other regions. But yeah, a lot of people, they want it now, they gotta have it, and they are spending a good amount of money on it still, but great to see it at 1/5 the price. Now, there are other people pointing out on Twitter, oh, somebody has 20 copies of these backroom shady deals with shoes, that's always happening. I don't think that's what happened. I could order as many as I wanted from the site when it was up for about a full day, and you could go less desirable sizes for longer, so as they might have seen the price of the promo, they could have kept going on it or speculated heavier on it. I got 2 pairs myself headed my way, but when it comes down to it, I don't think anything shady is happening there. So yeah, some people are gonna have way more copies than others because they plan to flip it, of course. Now, if you want to talk about something hype beast that isn't going to break the bank completely, we have the Mosachi hoodie over on Head to Head Battle Shop, and code What's Good 5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly will work to make this. One weird thing about it is it doesn't have the pockets in the front, and I keep going for it. I'm not used to a hoodie like that, but it's a very good size, a great thickness. I'm sweating a little under the camera lights, but I think it's great. And they will have a matching deck box at just $45. Code What's Good 5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly will make that a little cheaper for you though. Let's go ahead and get to the drama, John. When it comes down to it, YouTubers are going to feature cards, or they're going to talk about them, and they're going to spike in price. Cali Effect did that with Kurikara Divine Carnate, and it's been making the rounds that, oh my gosh, Cali Effect spiked this card, it went crazy, all this stuff. Why do YouTubers always do that? Look, when it comes to hundreds or less listings of cards to thousands of viewers, and they hear a decent argument for a card, especially when it's great on paper, people are going to rush towards it. And it's happened actually multiple times within this week with other YouTubers. So let's go ahead and cover all that. Back in the day, when I would cover cards, they would spike a lot more. I started to watch my wording, but I'll still say, get this card sooner than later, right? Or the quantities are dwindling down, and there will still be features I do that end up going, and I might progress them even faster because I am showing them to, again, thousands of people when there might be 30, 40 listings even of a card. And I think, yeah, this is going to end up going. I think it's right to talk about cards that you are going to think are hitting above their dollar class, and this is one that I wouldn't have bet against under $10. And it reminds me of 2 different cards. Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood got a lot of overhype back in the day, but has found the formats, and under the current time rules is doing way better. And you can see the secret rare back recently came up way in price, and it is now actually hitting what people used to hype it at. Not the next Max C or anything, that was kind of clickbaity. But when it comes to this specific card, it had a lot of ability and traction to end turns, and I do think it is a very good card. No material. I know Nimnim did a full-length feature on this one card, and I didn't disagree that it has a lot of potential, could be very good, but we've seen it spike time and time again with no result. And it also reminds me of this, where this card has done nothing but go down in the OCG, but the OCG is a different land where they have Max C and a lot of different answers for formats, where this card did get a lot of hype at first in the OCG. So I do think it's a card I personally wouldn't be betting against, but it does raise the question, when will it be good? It has that clock, going towards megatons. And again, YouTubers should be free to end up talking about cards that they do think are good, that are hitting above that class. And I don't disagree with this one personally in terms of that. Like Pack, I believe, and Nesh featured this, or it might have just been Nesh. I know Pack's actually caused some of the most buyouts in terms of being excited around past formats and showing off cards. And we talked a bunch of, like Pack featured Edison on stream and these cards went up. That's going to happen. I think it even happens with MBT. When people are genuinely excited about that and they have an active fan base, people are going to look over and want to either emulate that, get in for themselves. And there are going to be people who are greedy and reselling and looking at that and seeing dollar signs that come in with that. It's just going to happen, especially with the focus of the content on this channel, right? But when we look at the Libromancer stuff, right, I think it's not going to end up being that crazy, but it pairs with the new, is it Minako deck? I would have to look at the exact spelling. But you also have Renowned spiking up here now. You can see it was actually trajectory down for a bit. It got a spike a while ago, and now the lowest first editions are headed towards $22, and the unlims are up, towards $19, and it's actually reprinted in the OCG's version of the deck building pack that's being released in half a month. Now, they do pull stuff out sometimes, but they've been doing Toon Chaos reprints pretty much in everywhere we got Chaos Space recently, and that's out 90%, right? That also came up in the Discord of, oh, it's Toon Chaos, it'll probably hold price. Absolutely not. It's up there because it only has one printing. It's not like it's a high rarity or anything like that. So if this did get a reprint that's easier access, it's going to nosedive in price, right? But this is another card spiking alongside that as people grab it for the deck, and there's a potential reprint right around half a month. I would personally wait and see, but people are diving on right now in case it doesn't. And I'm gonna throw a couple of fake dramas in here. Wow, Crush cards, how could you spike the gold Crush card? It's in your channel name. How could you promote like this? What a terrible look. Gold of all things. I get really angry when I'm going through bulk and I see this one instead of the other old school one that's like actually worth $100. Like, I get so mad, but here somebody went ahead and bought that out, and you see the ultimate rare is not even moving for the unlim that actually has, like, I think the OG text on the unlim where you would play it for past formats. I do believe this is the updated text if I'm not mistaken, right? You tribute a dark monster with 1,000 or less attack. Your opponent takes no damage. Yeah, that didn't used to happen. You look at their hand, destroy them, then your opponent destroys 3 monsters in their deck. Yeah, that's the new text. So I just don't think this is necessarily for past formats even, but it's kind of crazy. Robbie Cole, how dare you with these gadgets? It's totally not Edison format. This has to be M. Cole 40 out here doing the gadgets. So yeah, both of these fake drama, right? But when it comes down to it, YouTubers are going to have audiences. People are going to look up cards that they're excited about. It's happened in the past, like MBT and SEMA were talking about the Water Gizmek play and how exciting that was during a feature match, and that got bought out above its weight class, but it was really kind of fun to watch, right? Or a pointer of the Red Lotus with SEMO. There's a huge history of this, my own channel included, of course, and whenever you do have those audiences, people are going to end up rushing towards those kinds of things, and I think they should be free to express this. Now, there is another conversation of actively vending with Market Watch. Personally, I stepped away because I feel like when you're vending and actively vending, even if I'm bringing you something I truly believe in, I take that best deal for myself if I'm going in, but there's nothing against somebody doing their hustle and doing Market Watch, personally, depending on how they handle it, in my opinion, because I think it's better to stay sharp as a player and doing that kind of content in terms of not only being a decent player or keeping up at least with the game to the level where you understand everything that's happening, but also vending because it will help you find cards you didn't know about. It will help you actually look through things and find things for your audience as well. So there's give and take there, of course, and people can compare it to whatever they want to. Like, it was compared in my Discord to like crypto pumps and stuff like that. No, the cards are completely different. They're a physical, tangible thing, and when people buy into them, it's realistically off the argument or what it is. I know this was on his thumbnail, but I think it was like 6 minutes into the video. It's not as if it was just a huge push, crazy, I have a ton of these kinds of things. No, Cali Effect gave his words on it, and it ended up going up consistently through a couple of days after that. Again, where it'll pan out, we'll wait and see. But I'm really tired of hearing the over-argument towards, oh, they shouldn't be doing that kind of thing. It's a natural process that's going to happen, and a cycle flow that's going to end up happening as well. Blackwing Sudri, the Phantom Glimmer, is up. Apparently, Blackwings did something really cool at a regional, and the Ultra Rare here is headed towards $6, so that might be some extra money you didn't know you had, and you might want to look into the deck and how it actually plays and what it's doing. But cool to hear the name Blackwings and it not be for a progression series here in 2023. Sprite Blue is also back up. We recently covered that it seems like the cold winter market is heating up really early for the metagame, and speculation would be that tier limits will be hit hardest, and Sprite's already topping right now, so people are going in on Sprite cards. I would think they would kind of hit multiple things if they did do a huge list for the WCQ. The question is, they gotta sell megatins. How do they go about it? Indirect hits, direct hits. I think they'll still be keeping a lot of these cards around heading in towards the WCQ season for the TCG list. Number 90, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, as we head towards that Galaxy Photon kind of theme set, is way up there. It would be nice to see a reprint, and somebody brought up Maze, but I think it's over speculation when it comes to Maze because that's a really small set list. It would be greatly timed, but yeah, no reprint currently on the horizon, and people are spending a lot of money on number 90 here. We have Vision Hero Ferris and Vision Hero Increase, increasing in price. I've always loved that pun, but for max rarity, we talked about it before when they dipped really hard that I would never bet against max rarity hero, and that secret rare does look a lot more nice than the ultra rares, proper English. But when it comes down to it, yeah, both of these spiking up, people are going for them, and I don't disagree, but you can see on the graph right here, people tried that again somewhat recently, came back down, back up, so it's kind of a cyclical thing where people are either trying to push or genuinely getting excited. So let me know if Heroes got any kind of back burner excitement right now, or if it's just the normal cycle. I actually do not know this one, and that's another thing with my content. I'm always not scared to admit when I'm like, hey, I don't really know what's going on here. You guys know? And then finally, Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon Secret Rare is spiking up here, and there's not the most listings on the Ultras. Legendary Duel Season 2 is up in price over time, and I would believe since it's Ultra, that means it should have the color variations, I would think. But when it also comes down to it, you have the Secret Rare here going up, which is the nicest looking version, and when we find the first editions, I think they start, around $22 now, and they've been selling around there. Blue Eyes hype, yeah. That'll never stop getting old either, just like Hero. Some DM era pandering always does some goodness on the old cards. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch and discussion. Let me know what you think. Do you have different creators you prefer to follow based on how they do act with the market and the pull and correlation to things spiking? Because I do think it's worth a discussion, but I think it's worth a more balanced discussion where it's not like finger pointing and it's all because of you, or I'm spending more cards, it's his fault. Like, you don't have to go buy the card right now. Like, there's a cycle to this. Like, this has happened before. Like, you can literally see this, it came out, it went down, it went up, it went down, it went up, it went down, it went up, and this is like the 5th time with this card, but because of the amount is what's got people talking, and that sort of stuff. It ends up that way, but sincerely, do consider all factors with it before starting the finger point, right? Thanks for watching, everybody.